Rainollon here. Today's another build showcase, and it's the Coda Motovore. So let us immediately start. I'm going to show you two builds, so let's start with the first one. The first one is the melee influence setup. The mods I'm using for the melee influence setup: prime pressure point for melee damage, blood rush and VP wounds. We're going to have 12x all the time, so that's 440% critical chance and 440% status chance. Given as elementalist for status damage, given as steel for critical chance. Both of them have the exact same system, so after 4 kills, they're going to give you something. This is going to give you 120% status chance, and this is going to give you 120% critical damage. Berserker's Fury, 70% attack speed after 2 kills, Prime Reach for +3 range, and Shocking Touch for electricity. These are the mods. For the Arcane, it's a influence setup, yes. Melee influence, electricity status, there's a 20% chance for elemental status effect to apply to every enemy in a 20-meter radius for 18 seconds. Yes, another influence. This is going to help you out a lot with clear. The passive. We're going to talk about the passive on the second build. For the element I've chosen on the Coda weapon, electricity. Electricity here, making electricity the highest damage type. The evading of electricity is the hardest one, so you're going to see a bunch of electricity procs, which is going to complement melee influence quite a lot. Attack speed is average, range is solid, combo duration is 5 seconds. I am definitely going to use primary secondary dexterity to increase it for 5 seconds to 20 seconds. Follow through is horrible. Riven Disposition is really bad. I will not recommend, and don't ask. I will not recommend at all. Critical chance is slightly above average, which is solid. Crit multi is also above average, which is also solid. Status chance is good, and total damage is fine. So those are the stats. The mods, the arcane. That's the influence setup, and it's time for me to show you the second setup. Now, for the second setup, it's the heavy attack slam setup. The mods I'm using: pressure point is yet again here for melee damage. Given as steel is also here for critical chance critical damage. I'm also using Given as reflect, gives you heavy attack efficiency. After 4 kills, it gives you 80 initial combo, which is 5x all the time. I'm also using corrupted charge, which gives you another 1x, which is 6x all the time, which is quite nice. Killing blow for more melee damage and also heavy attack wind up speed. Seismic Wave for more melee damage on slam attacks, and I'm going to focus on slam attacking. Prime Fever Strike for a lot of toxin damage increase, and Prime Heavy Trauma for nearly 1000 impact damage. So yeah, this is a lot of damage. These are the mods. For the Arcane melee exposure on ability cast, you get 60% corrosion damage on melee strikes for 25 seconds, stacks up all the way up to 240%. We don't care about the proc, we only care about the increased damage, and melee exposure does give us a lot of increased damage. So yeah, this is more damage. For the passive, so the passive is very unique, but also not really that impressive in the same time. You receive 6x physical damage from mods. So this is why you see Heavy Trauma giving me nearly 1000 impact damage, because this just gives you 6x. And you like on every mod? No, only on Impact, Puncher, and Slash. And the reason why I'm using Prime Heavy Trauma is because this is the only primed version of the 3 base elements, Slash, Puncher, and Impact. So there is no prime version on any Slash mod or Puncher mod. So Impact it is, because it gives you the most increased damage. What does Impact do is it gives you 40% more attack speed if the Impact is the highest damage type. Puncher gives you 1.5 range if Puncher is the highest damage type, and Slash gives you double status chance if Slash is the highest damage type. Impact sucks. Puncher is a support status effect that helps your crit be higher, and Slash got nerfed and it's much weaker now. You can still do some solid damage with Slash, but it's not that impressive anymore. This setup works, but if you are a Magistar, Sempotis, Arcatetron user, yeah, you can just walk away. It works. Of all slammers, I think this is the heaviest hitter slammer in the entire game. Like, a lot of damage. It does much more damage than the Magistar, the Architect, and the Sempotis, but the Magistar is a 20-meter AoE. This is a 9-meter. The Architect is a 9-meter AoE or 10-meter that also procs influence in the 20-meter radius, and Sympathis shoots out a waves that goes through walls and hits multiple times and has a lot of coverage. So yeah, this thing like lacks in clear, but in single target it isn't half bad-ish, I will say. I will not show this build in game. I'm going to show the influence one. It's just much better at clearing than this one. But if you want to test it out, yeah, 2-forma setup and you can jam all these mods in. So yeah, that's it here. I think it's time for me to show you the influence setup in game. So I'm going to use the Coda Motovore, Ember, no Sentinel Dog or Cat, no primary secondary. I'm definitely going to use primary secondary just to give myself the primary secondary dexterity for combo duration so I don't run out of 12x combo. But that's it. That's it. So let us immediately start. And we are in. I'm up against the corrupted enemies at the Void. Steel Path, of course. Let me show you this weapon in here. It's a survival. Show you this weapon, and as you can see, I'm spinning and hitting and proccing influence like every other melee weapon. Yep. Proccing influence even more. Boom, boom. Boom. Yep. Proc those influence procs. Come on, more. There we go. So the stance looks cool and flashy, but believe me, it's not good. It does have clear in terms of AoE. You are spinning, but it just isn't powerful. Fall through is 40, really not good. The weapon just isn't that mind-blowing. They really love making freaking hammers. We have so many hammers. Every update gives us a hammer. What's going on? Every single update. Stop it. Give us something else than hammers, please. Their fall through is horrible. Their stance is outdated. Please, stop. I wish the passive was better, but sadly, just isn't. Just isn't. Maybe if they ever, like, change impact to do something else, or they buff Slash again. After the health and armor changes, Slash is weaker. Enemies have a bigger health pool, but a fixed armor. So, yeah, it's just weaker. Doesn't matter how much damage you give it, you're going to see that the damage just falls off. Now spin. Keep on spinning. So you wonder what's the difference between the slammer and this. It's like you just do the heavy attack slam. It's a 9-meter radius. It doesn't have a really high radius. War! He's yapping again. Oh god. He's gonna talk about his anus key. Oh god, man. At least this weapon looks cool. I will say that. It looks cool. It looks cool. I will not deny it. But looking cool and being good is two different realities. And I will always choose stuff that is good rather than cool. I will rather hold a turd in my hand that does a billion damage than a diamond that does 1 damage, you know? I'm that type of guy. I'm that type of gamer. Alright, the Acolyte is also here. Oh, there you are. Alright, I'm tickling him. Acolyte is somewhere. There he is. There you go. Influence killed the Acolyte. My hammer didn't do anything. Not influence, electricity killed him. War. Jesus Christ, War, you're so tanky. Alright, that's also without any buffs or armor strip. That was just the weapon doing all its work. And yeah, the Acolyte despawned. It still can clear, it still can do content. It's just we have so many influence weapons, and of course there are going to be some influence setups that are better than others, and this one just isn't that good. For MR17 weapon, that you have to do so many quests to unlock Warframe 1999. Then you have to do a Coda Lich. Then you have to fight the Coda Lich, which is horrible for majority of new players. And once you get it, all these Coda weapons are just like 5 to 10% damage increase, which is unnoticeable in the current Warframe. And then there's nothing special about them. This one has a unique passive, but like, just isn't that mind-blowing good. Yeah, let's make Puncher our main source of damage to give it 1.5 range. Puncher is like a support status effect. Impact doesn't do much. Opens up enemies to finishers. Like, who the hell is still finishing enemies? And Slash doesn't work with Influence. So yeah, I think it's a massive bait. Time for me to extract and be right back. The Coda Motovore is fine. It's usable, I guess. Every hammer does the exact same thing, technically. Billet for electricity, jam influence, and just spin. They have to stop making hammers. We have so many hammers. Just look how many hammers we have. So many. This one has a unique passive, but to utilize it, you have to like kill viral, you have to kill gas, you have to kill blast, you have to kill the influence setups just to make like Slash, Impact, and Puncher your main source of damage. And building it as a slammer is like, you'll do like solid single target, but every slammer does like really solid single target, but they also have clear, and this thing doesn't. 9 meter AoE just isn't really that impressive on slams right now compared to the other meta ones. That's the builds technically. Hope you enjoyed the builds somehow. Thank you everybody watching. Leave a like, sub, and of course, see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.